All right, hello everybody. Roy Major. I'm the administrative director from BCS. With me is Krista Jacobs, who was one of our lead permit techs, and we're going to step you through the newest Excella or the PasCoGateway system enhancement. The format for this presentation is I'm going to do a very brief overview of what the enhancements entail, and then Krista is going to do a couple examples of what the look and feel of the software is and run through a couple permits and demonstrate a couple permits for you. So to kick it off, Monday, December 6th, the enhancements will be live. The two primary enhancements that all new applications for residential permit types will be available in the new system. Not only new homes, which currently exist, but all kinds of residential trade permits, residential mechanical, residential gas, and then all the accessories, residential windows, residential pool enclosures, anything residential will now be online. So those of you who have been running up paper permits for things like pool enclosures can now do that from your office. Another big enhancement is plans on file for residential home builders, also pools and spas. If you are a residential developer or a home builder, you can put plans on file for your model product, which you're going to construct over and over again. An item on this to add is that it's one file for each unique floor plan. So if you have the same floor plan, but the driveway's on the right, then you have the same floor plan, driveways on the left, you're going to have to register both those floor plans as unique features. You can't just register it and specify one side or the other. It's one plan for one footprint. And then also all documents, signed, sealed documents, everything is going to be loaded into the PasCoGateway. We're not going to accept paper for any type of permit. So just quickly run through, here's some of the enhancements. All the residential trade permits. We're going to do ground settlement, demolitions. If you're going to do a subdivision or something like that, and you have maybe an old ag barn you want to demolish, you can do that permit online now. Also, sign permitting is going to be online. Residential new, townhomes, villas, or condos, detached single family, and manufactured or mobile homes. Residential additions, notice how an accessory structure, a pole barn, for example, is going to be a residential addition. Aluminum structure with screen roof, or a pool screen enclosure, a slab only. All these things are going to be available online now. Here's some of your trade permits, doors and windows, garage doors, all these things, inside elevator for those of you doing homes on the coast. All those things are going to be in the new system. Plans on file, new homes, pools, spas, that kind of thing. Kind of moving down the list quickly here, ground settlement, any investigation or remediation will be available online. Residential alternative energy source, that's solar. Solar photovoltaic, ground mounted, roof mounted, generators, all that can be done. Demolition, as I spoke about, any kind of residential demolition. Sign permitting, this is primarily for the commercial group or anybody who specializes in signs. All will be done online now. So again, here's kind of a look at all those capabilities that will be enhanced in the system. So there you have it. I'm going to turn it over to Krista, who's going to do a plans on file example and then some trade permits. So Krista, if you'd grab the screen.
You do have to register in the new PasCoGateway. If you need assistance to make sure you're up and running on December 6th, you can contact our contractor and licensing department. If you call our number, it's option 6, and they can make sure that you are registered, and you may need to create a username to get it linked so that you're up and running on Monday morning. It's going to look like your old Excella, but it's going to have enhanced features that you can do all your residential online, effective on the 6th of December. You will be applying for all your residentials online. No paper will be accepted, and you will upload all your documents in your permit that you create. This is what it looks like. This is a test version that we use here. So I already have my username and password already set, and we're going to run through some plans on file. Like he was saying, it's houses, and we do a lot of pools today, but the new thing is houses. If you know you're going to build that same house, you can have that on file so that you can reference those approved plans. So you'll come up with your dashboard, and for our purposes, we're going to be doing the building module. This is just saying it's an online application. You continue. Whatever you get set up and linked, Your available licenses will be linked so you can pick it just from here. Some people may only have one. I have a lot for testing purposes. So we'll do building because we're going to do a house on file, and it pre-populates everything. And these are all your drop-down boxes of everything that's available to be permitted online starting on the 6th. So we'll do plans on file, continue application, and you can name it whatever you want to name your model. This is specific to you, so you know which one to reference. And you just continue your application. You always have to select your applicant. That's the person that's applying for this and will be contacted throughout the permitting process. Continue application. So you're going to tell the system what you're doing. In our case, for plans on file, we'll do a house. So that'd be residential new, whatever model name you want to call it. You're going to tell how many habitable square feet it is, how big your garage is. Just remember, this is going to be for your plans on file that you're going to build over and over again. If you have any other here, it also tells you what the other components would consist of: covered lanais, patios, and entryways, how many bedrooms this model is, how many bathrooms, and you continue your application. So you'll review your application. If you have any issues, and you can go back to edit, it takes you back to that screen to make any changes. Everything looks good. We'll continue your application. At this point, you would pay your fees. For our test purposes, we're just going to defer our payment. This, you would pay your fees, and then after the fees are paid, it creates your permit number. In this case, it's a res POF, plans on file number, and it would be right here. Your record number is right there. So now you'll go and upload your plans for this plans on file that you're going to get pre-populated. And you would upload your sign and seal plans. Here, it will tell you what's a required document for what you're permitting. At this one's just the construction plans, but you will always have the required documents. So it's like a checklist. It won't let you proceed unless everything's uploaded. Make sure you code it correctly. That's important because the system will check it.
And I'd like to underscore here that you, when you're calling these plans back up to actually use the plans on file, you need to put in that exact number, exactly the way it comes out from the system. You and your teams who'll be working on the software all need to have, nice record keeping on what the exact numerical sequence is, the name for that floor plan as it stands as a plan on file.
So after you get your plans, you would upload and validate it. The system's going to upload it, and it's also going to check that digital seal in the process. And it's also going to tell you that you meet your requirements. So you process your file. This could take a few minutes depending on how big your files are, how busy the server is, but you can navigate to different screens. You can do other work while it's uploading the plans. And throughout this, you're getting emails also saying that you've applied for your plans on file, that someone's used your license for the plans on file. You'll actually get an email when your uploading is complete. It's a very user-friendly that you get a lot of emails, what your progress is throughout the system.
I'll use this little bit of time while this is processing to plug our website for the Excella release, that there's going to be how-to videos. We have 16 how-to videos regarding how to file permits, how to get registered, just a variety of stuff. I would encourage everybody to check that out if you're not comfortable with anything using the software. And we have a variety of one-page summaries on how to upload both signed and sealed documents and how to upload typical documents that don't require a sign and signature and seal. PasCoGateway, your website, has resources for you to use to help get up to speed on the software.
Yes. Okay, so we're good. It's recognized our signature, it's processed, and we can continue. It's very important that you continue because it will just sit there waiting for you to upload more stuff if need be. So your next page, if you need to renumber anything, the system looks for the numbered pages. So if you have any duplicates, it's going to give you an error message and you'll have to rename it. I think my plans I have today are good. So you'll hit continue. And at any time you've like, oh, I put the wrong plans, I have to wait to get those plans, you can come back to this. You would always just do the save and resume later, and you can come back to this record and finish it up. So make sure you hit finish. Until you get this success, your review package has been received, you know that you are done. So at this point, it came to a permit tech here at the building department, and we will move it to a plans examiner. This one's pretty easy because it's just construction plans. We just send it to the building reviewer, and then he or she will look at it. If there's revisions required, they'll let you know, and then you would just fix those problems. At this point, when you seek success, you would be able to move along to whatever else you want to permit. And it's good to know when you go to your search your applications, you can go to, it goes to your dashboard. You can see all the applications you have under whatever licenses are attached to your user ID. And you can see where it is in the process of approval, what examiners have your permit for their review. So the plans on file one I just did, you can click on it or any of them that you have in there. And if you go to record information, to processing status, you can open up any of these and see that it was who it was assigned to. So at this point, it's sitting in her queue to send to a plans examiner for this purpose, depending on what type of project you're doing. It depends on what reviewers would get this. So then this would be sent to a plans examiner. Hopefully it gets approved the first go around. It gets sent to a permit tech, and then you would get an approval that you can use those plans on file. I think we'll do a window and doors because that's very common. So I'll use my building license. So windows and doors are under alteration. And the best way to pick your address is hit the number, the street number, and hit search. And it will bring up every Pasco County address with those numbers, and you can pick from there. Because if you get like one, put two N's instead of one, it will say it's not there and you'll get frustrated. But the easiest way is to put number and hit search. And then everything will pre-populate your parcel number, the customer's name, we'll select it. If your customer's name is wrong, it could be that maybe they just bought it and it hasn't been updated with the property appraiser's office. So we can always update that if you give us a call or email to your permit tech or upload the recorded deed so we can make the changes so your NOC matches. So everything gets pre-populated in here. You would just hit continue application, applicant, pick myself, so I'm the person applying. Continue application. If you needed to add a subcontractor, you can do it at this point. That would be like for your additions, if you needed to add a plumber or electrician. In our case, we're just doing a window permit, so we're not going to add anybody. Your project name, you can put it as Miller House, and then general description, replacing 9 windows, and detailed, as detailed as you can get for the inspector's purposes. Job value, whatever the job is costing. This is everything you would have wrote on a paper application. You're just filling in the blanks here. Residence, we'll just say it's a detached house. Type of work, this is where you're going to tell it's for windows and doors. There's garage doors, there's just the shutters, whatever you're doing. Is structural work being done? You're just doing an equal like for like windows and doors, would be a no. Are you using impact? Number of existing, we've said 9. And then you'd put your product approval numbers of whatever you're using. And how many existing and how many you're replacing. It could or could not be the same number depending on whatever your job is going on. These are all going to be no's if it's going to be a simple window and door. If you don't know this, it's no big deal. You can just NA it. Not really necessary for windows and doors. And most of them is going to be single family homes or duplex residents, or maybe a mobile home. And we also have this document required here. And this will take you to the website to find out what is exactly needed for a door and window permit. I'm going to go ahead and add. So for a door and window, all you need is the project approval sheets and a floor plan of where those windows are in the house that you're replacing. So you would grab your documents and then you would continue. Make sure you label one as floor plan and the other one as the product approval. Because the system will check it to make sure that you have those two documents uploaded. Always the floor plan and then the product that you're using. That's for, you and the inspector to reference.
And let me just add here that the more detail that you add in those description windows, the easier it's going to be for the inspector to understand what you're doing, and easier for the inspector to hopefully approve what you have out there. So as much detail as possible in those description boxes really helps everybody.
Yeah, basically everything you would write on your application, right on there, because the inspector sees that. That's the first thing he sees when he comes out to your property. So continue application. And you're gonna double check, make sure everything's good. You have the right address, right Florida approval numbers, how many windows you're replacing, and then you check the box that everything's correct and you certify it. Okay, and you'll pay the fees. And these are the same fees as what they are today. And there's your new permit number, the Res Alt 2021-0002-126. At this time, it came to a permit tech at the building department for review. So the only review we would do on this one would be if it's in a flood, we would send it for flood review. If it's not, we would issue that permit right away. And you get emails stating when it gets issued and everything. And like I said before, you can always search the application and see whose queue it went into for the permit tech and see what the progress is. Let's do a pool. Continue. So this is where you can add your electrician. I don't have an electrician's number, but you can add it now or you can add it at the end before it gets issued, either one. But just knowing that a pool person has to do. Okay, you tell me what kind of pool you're doing. Is it a concrete, fiberglass, above ground, whatever you're doing? Are you gonna have a safety beer? Yes. And then you'll see what the pool volume is. Are you bringing any fill-in? How many square feet of your pool and your deck? If it doesn't have an asterisk next to it, you don't have to answer if you don't know how to. This is where if you had the plans on file, you could utilize it here. If you say yes, it's going to have you put that plans on file number that you got already approved in our system. For ours, I'll just say no. This is important that you answer these questions correctly if it's on a well or septic and what power company you're using. Are you using private provider plan review? And if you're using private provider inspections. Review your details, check the box, pay your fees. And then you come up to the same screen to upload your plans and your required documents. And here's your requirements. And just remember, anything over 500 square feet, you would have to add a drainage plan. Everything that you would dropped off here at the building department, you're just going to upload it into the system. Make sure you code things correctly because the system's going to check it. So you want to just make sure, and plus it goes in the right places for the reviewers to do their markups. Okay, good. Upload and validate. It's also checking your requirements to make sure you're good. Process your file. And then this is where you can go and do other work.
I'll chime in here again while this is processing. Is it a couple questions or a question we got about the NOCs? If you can file an NOC online to make this a totally online process, you need to come to the clerk's office to record your NOC. That is not part of PasCoGateway, of this software. However, brought to our attention, there's several online applications where you can record a NOC online. I was told the fee is $25. And so if you use those applications, you can make this a totally automated process from your office.
And there's no need to do a paper application and upload it when you're answering all the questions in the step-by-step. You don't have to do that paper applications because I have had some people do paper applications and then upload it into the permit. That is not necessary. There we go. And hit continue. So this one, it's saying that I have to name my sheets. So this would be my site plan.
You will need totally unique name for each sheet. The software
Right.
does not allow repeat names for sheets. Not sure why one would want that, but or want a repeated name for a sheet, but you can rename them any way you want. But the software is going to demand that you have unique names for each sheet.
Yeah, it tries to pick up whatever name, the number at the bottom of the sheet, but if it can't find one, it's going to ask you to name it something. Hit continue. We'll double check it. Make sure you hit finish.
Got to hit finish, folks.
Yes. Very, very important. So this has been received by the building department, and then a permit tech will look it over and send it to the DCRs and the building reviewers at the same time, so everybody sees it together. So this does speed up the process, hopefully, because everybody can see it together. They don't have to wait for zoning to look at it and then turn it over to plans. And you can always check your dashboard here and see all the permits that you have and what status they're sitting at.
So go over that in a little more detail, Krista. How does one check their dashboard? You go to building.
Search applications.
Okay, search
Mhm.
applications.
Yep.
Okay. And as long as you're looking at under your registered name,
Everything that's under your license.
under your license, thank you.
That's linked to your account will show up as a permit that you created. This one, the plan reviews in progress,
You get a status there on the far right.
and you'll see when fees are due. This one's waiting for me to upload my plans. So I started it. I paid it. I just haven't uploaded my plans yet. So it's just waiting for the applicant to do something. You'll see if it's been issued. There's another feature that we have is amendment. If you have to add a contractor to this permit, you can add it from here. If you need to revise something, make a revision, you would do this and go through the process, and then the revision will come back to the same examiners. That saw the first time around. Field contact's really just for new houses. But yeah, it's very user friendly, step by step. And I hope all our videos made it a lot easier.
All right, team, that's a wrap for this overall how-to video. Again, I'd like to plug the PasCoGateway website, which has a variety of printed and video how-to material. We talked about the NOC online capability, so you can totally submit residential trade permits, from your office, including the recording of the NOC. So with that, happy to have everybody see this video, and looking forward to getting the software implemented and realizing this extra step of customer service. So everybody have a great year, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you.